Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of MMA and Coffee. On this episode, it's a recap of Weidman versus Gastelum. So in our prediction video, I predicted the fight would kind of go like Musashi, where, Kelvin Weidman would have success in the beginning of the fight. He would get takedowns, but once the fight went later, he would slow down and Kelvin would use his speed advantage on the feet to win the later rounds, but
which he obviously wasn't able to do.
So the one thing I learned from this fight was just the size difference. It really did feel like Weidman was almost 2 weight classes bigger than Kelvin. And
yeah, he's definitely big. That was the biggest difference. He was just too big.
So
he showed why weight classes it kind of exists,
Right. So what I would say is before Kelvin looked great in middleweight, but what I've seen though is if he went against people like Rockhold or Romero, he will be way undersized. After the fight, he has to be go back to welterweight. My only thing is you got to make the weight. The reason
that's why he's not at welterweight.
They forced him to fight middleweight because he wasn't making weight. So if he can make weight, I think he'd be great at welterweight. He's only 25.
Right.
He's still getting better and better. He had glimpses where he showed that he was skilled.
He could potentially even fight bigger guys if he needs to work on takedown defense or needs to work on his bottom game. Something like. There are ways to beat guys bigger than you.
I mean, he showed good defense early, but as it kept going on, it was just so obvious.
Submitted. So
it was just so obvious that Weidman was physically just stronger and bigger. Because as soon as he got him down, he was able to hold him. He couldn't get back up.
I mean, Weidman does have a great top game.
He does, but I think in this fight it was just more obvious. I think Weidman's 6'2" and Kelvin's 5'8", 5'7".
I agree. Romero probably would beat him too, assuming he didn't gas out or something.
So bigger men
that are great grapplers. That's a bad matchup for him, obviously.
So, honestly, I didn't pick Weidman because he was on a losing streak.
Yeah, it was kind of hard. It wasn't I didn't feel like it was going to be, if Weidman won, it would be shocking or anything. But I remember rolling with Gastelum too on that, just because he had the momentum.
He had the momentum, but it looked like the size was too much.
Yeah.
I'm actually though happy that Weidman got a win. He got a win, and
he needed it.
He needed it. He got it at his hometown. It was a good moment. His family's really emotional.
Yeah.
So I was okay with the fight. I actually
he does not deserve a title shot. That's all I'm saying. That's crazy.
So it seemed again he wanted to keep his name in the discussion, do a little trash talk, but it did seem premature. It's look, man, you were coming off 3 fight loss and you just beat a guy way smaller than you. Get a couple wins and then you can make the argument.
I know Romero just lost, but I'd like to see Weidman and Romero fight. I mean, it's not like Weidman's on a huge streak, so
that's true.
I'd like to see that matchup.
A rematch?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see.
I think that would be tough. I'd almost rather see Weidman and Rockhold.
If they can make it, if Rockhold wins this fight that's coming up, that's probably actually what they'll do. It makes sense. It really does. For the title shot, that's probably the most likely thing.
Or Weidman and Jacare.
Yeah,
Jacare don't have a fight.
That's true.
That makes more sense too.
It depends on what happens. If Rockhold loses, that might happen. If they both win, I'm going with that. Predictions on a recap.
Alright, so that's what we think about the fights. What'd you think? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.